On a stormy night, heavy rain pours outside a lonely house. Inside a locked room, a wounded woman in a torn, dirty dress sits on the floor. Her body is covered with injuries, and the walls around her are filled with deep nail scratches showing how desperately she has tried to escape. She quietly stares at a small musical toy playing in front of her. Outside, her husband is drunk and dancing. He is the one who locked her inside. Beside him lies a large bag full of money clearly earned through illegal means. Greed is written all over the situation. During a storm, a tree branch crashes through the window of the locked room. Seeing this as her only chance, the woman climbs out and reaches the roof. At that same moment, an evil force suddenly rushes into the empty room and lets out a terrifying scream. Realizing she has escaped, the husband begins searching for her. She runs into a nearby sugarcane field hoping to hide, but she soon finds herself trapped between two forces, her husband on one side and a frightening ghost on the other. Refusing to surrender, she shouts that she will never return and that she will not be the key to his greedy money. Suddenly, lightning strikes her, killing her instantly. The scene then shifts to a small town. Inside a tea shop, many missing posters of young girls are stuck on the walls. At the same time, money across the town is mysteriously disappearing, leaving people struggling to survive. In that tea shop, only one woman named Rina is working. Her daughter Puthri hates being poor and does not want to live and die in poverty. She asks her mother to let her join a ship work course, promising that after completing it, she can earn a lot of money. However, Rina refuses because they barely have enough for daily food and her son's education is already a burden. Soon the situation becomes worse. The tea shop owner informs Rina that from next month she will no longer have a job due to low sales and lack of money. Sitting alone at a bus stand after losing her job, Rina feels helpless. She notices a cover near her seat and finds it filled with a large amount of money. At first, she decides to return it to the police because she is not someone who takes others' money. But as she waits, thoughts about her children, their hunger begin to trouble her. If she gives this money away, their life will remain the same. Choosing her children over honesty, she quietly leaves before the police officer comes out. That night, while everyone is asleep, Rina's son wakes up to use the restroom. On the way, he sees a bowl with water and a crab on the floor. He places it back on the table and continues walking. Near the restroom, he senses someone pass by him and briefly sees a small devil-like figure, the same evil presence from earlier. He then notices Rina sleepwalking and moaning strangely. He tries to wake her, but fails. Hearing the noise, Puthri comes out and finally wakes their mother. Rina seems confused and says she does not know how she came there. Puthri then sees the bowl back on the floor again, and the water inside is swirling like a storm. When she touches it, she sees the little devil's reflection. She quickly turns around, but nothing is there. The next day, Puthri tells her friend Kiki, who dismisses it as imagination or a random cat. Meanwhile, Tagar, the boy arranging the ship course, takes photos of Puthri, Kiki, and her cousin for registration. Later, Puthri falls asleep while reading. She suddenly wakes up to find the main door open and Rina is missing from the house. She also notices something shocking. There is a bag full of money. She knows no one would lend such a huge amount of money to Rina, which makes the situation even more suspicious. She immediately informs her friend Kiki. Kiki and his cousin agree to help her search, so Puthri leaves her younger brother with Tagar and goes with them to the police. But the officer does not take it seriously. He assumes that since Rina lost her job, she might have gone to another town for work and could return the next day. He tells them to go home. They return confused, especially because Rina's slippers are still at the house, showing she did not leave normally. At that moment, Puthri notices her brother drawing on the wall. He has sketched a tall black chimney releasing thick smoke. This shocks her because the strange moaning sound Rina made while sleepwalking sounded exactly like a burning chimney. On the town's border, there is a dense forest. Inside it stands an old factory with a tall black chimney. The factory belongs to the richest man in town. Rumors say he used a little devil and the ghost of a girl to stay rich forever. Out of fear, no one dares to enter the forest, and people believe his wealth is connected to that dark power. Putting everything together, Puthri becomes convinced her mother is inside that factory. She decides to go and save her. Her friends warn her that it is dangerous, but she refuses to stop. Not wanting to leave her alone, they join her. Before leaving, Puthri tells her brother not to open the door for anyone except their mother and to go to Kiki's house if he feels scared. After Puthri and her friends leave, her younger brother begins to hear strange noises inside the house. Even though fear slowly builds inside him, he stays firm and decides not to step outside. He remembers his sister's warning and tries to be brave. Meanwhile, a man with a noticeable mole on his face sees Puthri and her friends heading toward the forest. He informs the police officer about it. The officer becomes furious and beats him for not stopping them earlier. Realizing the situation might turn serious, the officer decides to go after them. Puthri and her friends finally reach the forest. The atmosphere is dark and silent. As they walk deeper inside, Kiki's cousin's slipper breaks. He stops to fix it. While adjusting it, he senses someone nearby and sees a shadow standing at a distance. He quickly points his torch toward it, but at that moment Kiki calls him and pulls him away, saying they are getting late to reach the factory. When they look back, the shadow is gone. Back at the house, Puthri's brother sits alone, still drawing on the wall. Suddenly, the power goes out. The darkness increases his fear, but he refuses to run outside. Instead, he lights a candle. In the silence, he hears a strange sound. Slowly following it, he notices that one of the toys in the house is moving on its own, as if someone invisible is playing with it. As Puthri's brother stands near the bed, the little devil suddenly appears from underneath and tries to pull him down. Completely frightened, he runs toward the main door and struggles to open it, but it refuses to budge. The little devil slowly walks toward him. In a final desperate attempt, he manages to unlock the door, runs outside, and crashes straight into the police officer who has just arrived in the area. At the same time, Puthri and her friends finally locate the factory deep inside the forest. The building looks abandoned and lifeless. Inside, they find a locked door. Using an axe, they break it open, and suddenly more than 100 bats fly out, shocking them. As they gather themselves, Kiki shares another rumor. People say that although the rich man gained endless wealth through the ghost, he was cursed. The curse states that his only son will not live long and will eventually be killed by the same ghost. They move deeper into the factory and find an office room. On the wall, there is a photo of the rich man sitting with factory workers, but all the faces are unclear. Just then, they hear the sound of a woman breathing. Puthri immediately thinks it could be her mother and moves toward the sound. Kiki, worried about safety, tells his cousin to bring the axe. While going to get it, the cousin notices a hidden entrance leading to a secret basement. Meanwhile, Puthri enter another office room and find many missing posters. As Puthri goes to show this to Kiki, several female ghostly figures appear floating in the air, silently watching her. She senses something and quickly turns her torch in that direction, but there is nothing visible. The cousin returns with the axe and leads them to the basement. Down there, they discover a hidden room that clearly looks like a place where dark rituals have been performed. Inside the basement room, they see a bundle of money, the same kind that appeared in Puthri's house. Kiki's cousin warns that the money could be cursed and that whoever touches it may also become cursed. While searching further, Kiki finds something horrifying. All the missing women's photos are displayed there, and among them is Puthri's mother's photo. They're shocked, wondering how her picture ended up in this place. Suddenly, all the candles go out at once. In the darkness, a woman's body falls from above. Thinking it might be her mother, Puthri moves closer. The body suddenly twists, rises unnaturally, and screams loudly. It is a ghost. At the peak of fear, they run. As they escape, more ghostly bodies fall from above. Somehow, they manage to get outside. But Puthri stops because she still has not found her mother. She says she will not leave the factory until she knows whether her mother is alive or dead. She tells her friends they can go if they want, but they refuse to leave her alone and stay with her. Kiki's cousin decides to go bring help from the town. On the way, the cousin is caught and beaten by the police officer, who then takes Puthri's brother and Kiki's cousin away to an unknown place. Meanwhile, Puthri and Kiki head to the rich man's house near the factory. Inside, they are shocked to see a huge pool built in the center of the house. Since the mansion is large, they split up to search. While exploring, Kiki finds the same musical toy shown at the beginning. She plays it and takes a photo. In the camera flash, she sees a ghost standing there. In fear, Kiki clicks another photo, and at that moment, Puthri rushes in and pulls her into another room. There they discover a shocking twist. A photograph reveals that the man who tortured the woman at the beginning and the police officer in the town are the same person. They are confused because he always told everyone that his wife had gone missing long ago, so they cannot understand how his photo is inside this mansion. As they continue searching, they find an old book explaining everything about the little devil. It says that if someone controls and commands the little devil, he will gain unlimited wealth, and the devil will die exactly when the person controlling it dies. The book also reveals that the devil survives by drinking mother's milk, which is why many women were kidnapped and brought there. It also clearly mentions that the little devil is afraid of mirrors. Puthri then finds more bundles of money, like the ones shown at the beginning. The little devil does not create money, but steals it from others. For proof, they find rolled cash that belongs to the tea shop lady, confirming that all this wealth is stolen from the townspeople. However, they realize that the mansion's original owner is too old and already dead, so he cannot be the one behind all this now. This means the person continuing everything is his son, who is the police officer. Meanwhile, Tagar comes to the factory searching for Kiki, but the police officer ambushes him and kills him with an axe. Upstairs, Puthri hears her mother's voice and rushes alone, leaving Kiki downstairs. Kiki sees her cousin searching for them, and she follows him. Upstairs, Puthri finds her mother tied up, terrified of the little devil. She comforts her mother and brings her downstairs, but Kiki is nowhere to be found. Puthri searches frantically. Meanwhile, Kiki follows the cousin, but suddenly he vanishes into a room. Inside the room is filled with mirrors covered with cloth. In one mirror, Kiki sees a girl standing with her back turned. Slowly it turns, and it is herself covered in blood. At that moment, a hand drags her into the mirror and brutally kills her. Nearby stands a ghost, the same woman illuminated by lightning in the first scene. Both Puthri and her mother realize that Kiki is dead. Puthri is devastated, but her mother convinces her to keep moving. As they try to escape, the police officer corners them. He wields an axe and tells Rina she may escape from him, but she cannot escape the ghost of his wife whom he had enslaved. Both Puthri and her mother fight fiercely with the police officer. During the struggle, he loses the amulet he used to control his wife's ghost. Without it, he can neither control her nor protect himself from the ghost. Desperate, he manages to recover the amulet, and the ghost disappears. Puthri and her mother hide, but the officer threatens them, holding the boy's glass and warning that he'll kill him if they do not come out. Out of motherly love, Rina steps forward while Puthri stays hidden. At that moment, the little devil shouts loudly. The officer immediately decides to prioritize feeding the devil with mother's milk first, dragging Rina inside, planning to deal with Puthri later. Meanwhile, the cousin and the boy manage to escape, but get separated. The cousin hides in a room and sees more ghostly figures covered in bedsheets. Terrified, he pulls one bedsheet off, and all the others collapse like there is no one under them, but one figure remains still. He cautiously approaches, removes the cover, and finds only a mannequin. However, his luck turns worse when he notices a ghost standing next to the mannequin. Suddenly, a metal cutter blade spins rapidly and flies straight toward him. He narrowly escapes, and the blade strikes the mole-faced man working for the police instead. The boy hides inside a blue barrel. He hears his mother's voice and comes out, but it is a ghost. Without the glass, he cannot see clearly and moves closer, thinking it is his mother. At that moment, the barrels tied above him are cut and start to fall. Cousin rushes and pushes the boy out, and the barrels crash on him, knocking him unconscious. Puthri arrives and finds her brother safe. Meanwhile, the police lock Rina in a room. The little devil appears and drinks her mother's milk along with her blood. Rina screams in pain. Puthri gives her brother the glass and plans to defeat the two ghosts. Her brother hides in a cupboard. The ghost of Kiki appears asking for help, but the police is nearby, so he stays silent. Once the police leaves, he comes out. The police smells something burning and finds all his money on fire, which Puthri has set. He tries to stop the fire. Puthri fights him to take the amulet, but he is very strong. Her brother saves Rina, who comes with an axe. The police grabs the axe and stabs Rina in the stomach. Angry, Puthri smashes a chair on his head, grabs the amulet, and throws it into the fire. They locks him inside the room and come out together safe. Inside the room, the police officer's wife's ghost appears. Without the amulet, he cannot control her. The ghost lifts him ready to kill, and he desperately begs for mercy. At the same time, the little devil starts attacking Puthri. The ghost shatters the glass into pieces and shoots them like bullets toward the police officer, killing him. With the master dead, the little devil also dies. Tragically, Puthri cannot save her mother, who has died. A few days later, the cousin is shown in the hospital, his body covered with wounds, but he is alive, and the movie ends there.